G'day! Now we all know that Scientology tells a lot of lies about its activities and what it's up to. So it's always nice to come across things like this. The Scientologist's Guide to Dissemination. Dissemination is a word, the word itself means scattering of seed, and the Scientologists use it to mean spreading Scientology. So you spread the seed, you spread Scientology. And it has dissemination made easy, which is amazing. Because, well, just listen to this sentence. Want to disseminate, but feel a little apprehensive about diving in and getting started? Where's the do you part of that? This guidebook was compiled for you. And it goes on, and there's the contents. But there are some interesting things in here. First of all, the dissemination drill is quite simply contact, handle, salvage and bring to understanding, which means you meet a person, you handle, if they've got any attacks, you handle that. If you can, good luck with that. And then you salvage by finding their ruin, and then you bring to understanding by telling people that Scientology can help them. But this is where it gets kind of interesting, and it's how to interest people in Scientology. This is available online, by the way. I think you might get it on WikiLeaks or someplace. But he talks about how there's a thing called the what does he call it? The DEI scale, which is a scale that a person apparently is on somewhere. He was obsessed with scales, as you know. And it goes interest, desire, enforce, inhibit, unknow. And obviously in reverse it goes the other way around. So basically what he says is that when you as a Scientologist are trying to talk to a WOG, you're trying to interest them in something they don't know. But if you continue to do this, they will desire to know. You don't even. It's hubbardology, so it's absolute bullshit. But at the very end, there's a little thing that says salesman success, and this explains a lot of Scientology right here. It says, all a salesman has to do is to continue to try to interest the customer, and the reactive inversion will take place. So he's saying that if you continue to try to interest someone in something they're not interested in, they will reactively become interested in it. That's bullshit. That is absolute fucking bullshit. Sorry, Ron and Scientologists. How to get into communication using the tone scale. Tone scale. A-E-I-O-U. 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 Yes, the tone scale. A-E-I-O-U. Oh. A-E-I-O-U. And then there's dissemination tips. Personal contact, how you can do it, how books are very important. And the interesting thing is this. Over the years we've found that in order of importance the following methods were workable. And the first one is personal contact. So that's the same for almost any business. You know, if someone says to you, hey, what's a good restaurant? You think of one you went to, not one that someone told you about. And then books. So obviously you've got to sell books, but you need personal contact to sell the books. But the third one is casualty contact. Which is basically a Scientologist going into a hospital. That's the third most successful way of getting people into Scientology. Well, that's a new one on me. A fruitful source of HAS co-audit, which is something they used to do back in the day. They don't do that anymore. It's the Hubbard Apprentice Scientology. So maybe they brought it out again. But anyway, basically it was just a comm course, as far as I know. Is casualty contact. This is very old and almost never tried, and is always roaringly successful, providing the auditor goes about it in roughly the right way. I don't get this language. How can you go about something in roughly the right way? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you can. Using his minister's card, an auditor need only barge into any non-sectarian hospital, get permission to visit the wards from the superintendent, mentioning nothing about processing, but only about taking care of people's souls. So there's something deceptive going on right there. To find himself wonderfully welcome. Ministers almost never make such rounds. Some hospitals are sticky about this sort of thing, but it's only necessary to go find another. It's fabulous what one can get done in a hospital. So this is the third most successful way of getting Scientologists into Scientology, by going to see sick people. Whoa. Fourth is newspaper ads. Now, this is interesting. So this is actually less successful than going round a hospital as an individual. So all those ads at the Super Bowl, they were coming into the ads thing. So they are less successful than a guy going around the hospital. Brilliant. And then take an e-meter, where he says you go and set up an e-meter. Then there's levels of awareness. Oh yeah, he had it all covered. Then there's the plus awareness scale. Finding a ruin. How do you find a ruin? This is the BDU Have survey. But this is the best bit here, and I'm going to read some of this out. It's common ruins and what L. Ron Hubbard book you should give, okay, to help, and what course they should take, and what film they should watch, and also what LRH tape lecture they should listen to. So whatever the person's ruin is, here's the answer. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 14 of these things. And the first one is no goals or direction in life. A lot of people have no goals or direction in life. Some people in the 50s and 60s have no goals or direction in life. A lot of people who are teenagers definitely have no goals or direction in life. But if they read A New Slant on Life by L. Ron Hubbard, that problem would be solved. The inability to communicate, okay, well that's quite straightforward. They need to do the Success Through Communication course, obviously. And also read the Fundamentals of Thought, Dianetics 55. Is that on the new list? I don't know. Job instability. So, you know, the way economics works, sometimes you lose your job through no fault of your own. But, really, if you watch an introduction to Scientology Freedom film, you'll have job security. Really? Depression and anxiety, and this is where we get into a dodgy area, because Scientologists cannot give medical advice. But if you attend the Dianetics seminar, you will sort out your depression and anxiety. I don't think so. Lack of confidence and self-esteem. You need the book Self-Analysis. And to do the Dianetics seminar. Unhappy relationships. You need to read Dianetics 55. Is this even on the new list? I must check. And of course, how to improve relationships with others, which will probably include the whole marriage course things, but it didn't help Tom Cruise and it didn't help L. Ron Hubbard, who've both been married 3 times. So if they... Hang on a minute. If they were married 3 times, why weren't they applying Scientology and saving their marriage? And if they weren't applying Scientology and saving their marriage, why weren't they sent to ethics for not... Oh, never mind. Life is out of control. Oh, hi, what would you like to be in life? Oh, I don't know. What would you like to do? I don't know. What would you like to have? I don't know. What feeling do you have about your life? Well, I feel like my life's out of control. Oh, really? Because if that's so, you need to do the Dianetics seminar! Wasting potential. I could be guilty of this. What's the solution? Success Through Communication course, of course. Marriage problems. Covered that already in relationships. Emotional roller coaster. We know what they're trying to sell here. You got it. Overcoming ups and downs in life course. Inability to study. And we know what they're selling here. Unwanted compulsions, obsessions, aches, pains and emotions. Now that covers such a wide range, and you can guess what the solution is for that. The Dianetic Seminar. Psychosomatic illness, an illness caused by the mind. You can guess what the solution is to that. Dianetic Seminar. Finally, lack of energy and alertness, dull and tired. Get some sleep. Leave the Sea Org. Do you know what the solution is to that? The Purification Rundown. Okay, now I'm only halfway through the book. It covers all the basic books and lectures. It covers the Volunteer Minister Program, all the Scientology handbook booklets that came out some years ago. I think they're still doing those. How to give lectures, routes onto the bridge, beginning services, disseminators reference book, things to do to disseminate, how to get started, and quite simply it just says form a group. But here's the good bit here. 2 vital courses for all Scientologists. And guess what? These courses are actually free. And these are the only free courses in Scientology. The Field Staff Member Specialist. In order to help you disseminate better, this course has been made available to all Scientologists free of charge. In other words, if you're going to sell Scientology, you get a free course in how to do it. And then the Hubbard Dissemination course. Even though you and millions of other Scientologists have discovered Scientology and are on the road to total freedom, so they say, there are billions who are still in a pit of ignorance and barbarism. Ooh, that's harsh. And basically, it's the dissemination course. Actually, I don't think this is free. Oh, it doesn't say that one's free. So maybe together these 2 courses give you the technology you need to expertly disseminate Scientology to anyone under any circumstances. So why are they failing? Anyway. No, it doesn't say it's free. So the only free course, not the only 2 free courses, the only free course is the Field Staff Member Specialist. So the only free course in Scientology. And finally there's a word from L. Ron Hubbard, and this is disturbing. You're the single most vital civilization... Start again. You're the single most vital civilizing influence on Earth today. What? What? If you don't tell people this, if you don't conduct yourself accordingly as a public service with a greater level of authority given to you by your command of knowledge of life, what you are and what you're doing, then you'll keep playing along in the Bush League. You establish by your own postulate the size and importance of your own activity. Wow, L. Ron Hubbard. So a shrinking Scientology and people upset and leaving and exposing what really goes on. Let me just go over that last line again. You establish by your own postulate the size and importance of your own activity. So you're shrinking and people don't think you're important because you're not. Ron had it all kind of worked out. He didn't realise that DM was going to come along and unravel and destroy it. However, it would have unravelled and destroyed itself in time because it's all based on lies and fraud. So that's my rant for the day. Thank you for listening. What did I just say? Thank you for listening. I write just for you. But others hearing this may find things they would argue. Okay, enough of that shite. Bye.